Have you ever been sitting on your couch, just trying to relax, and suddenly you're being used as a human trampoline by a dog that seems to be powered by, I don't know, a tiny nuclear reactor? Yeah, you know the feeling. It's that wild mix of love, a little bit of frustration, and just total chaos. Well, today, let's dive into how we can turn that chaos into calm. So, does this sound familiar to you? The sudden, frantic sprints through the house, bouncing off the furniture, the nipping that just seems to come out of absolutely nowhere? If you're nodding your head right now, I promise you are not alone. And the good news is, this isn't just a naughty puppy. It's actually a pretty common behavior that has clear causes and, thankfully, clear solutions. All right, so here's our game plan. First up, we're going to decode the chaos and figure out what is really going on inside your dog's head. Then, we'll talk about the incredible power of a simple routine and some specific training exercises you can do. We're also going to build a toolkit for those moments when things get a little wild. And finally, we'll cover how to know when it might be time to call on a pro for a little extra help. To solve any problem, you first have to understand it, right? And that hyperactive behavior, it's not random. It's a biological response. It's basically a giant flashing sign that your dog's nervous system is totally overwhelmed. The Zoomies. We've all seen them. The scientific name is frenetic random activity periods, or FRAPs for short. But here's the most important thing to remember. Zoomies are not bad behavior. In fact, they're completely normal. Think of them like a release valve. It's how a puppy's brain hits the big reset button when they're overstimulated or just have a ton of pent-up energy. So how can you tell if your puppy is just letting off some steam versus being completely overwhelmed? Well, you have to become a behavior detective. Look for these signs: the excessive nipping, those crazy eyes where you see a lot of the white, ignoring commands that you know they know. These aren't your dog being defiant. They're signs of pure exhaustion. And this right here shows the difference perfectly. A puppy that's just tired is ready for a nap. They'll settle down. But an overtired puppy, they're so amped up on stress hormones like adrenaline that they physically can't calm down. It's like their body is screaming for sleep, but their brain is still running a marathon. And this is really the heart of it all. This is the big aha moment. When you see that frantic, chaotic behavior, the most important thing you can do is just shift your mindset. You're not looking at a bad dog, you're looking at an overwhelmed one. And that change in perspective, it's the first real step to helping them. So now we can start building a solution. If a lack of predictability is what's causing the stress, then the antidote is a solid, predictable routine. This becomes the foundation for absolutely everything else we do to build a calmer dog. Here's a perfect example of what a good routine looks like. See the rhythm here? Up, potty, a little bit of play and training, breakfast, and then right back to the crate for a nap. And this is so key. A lot of people don't realize that young puppies need a massive amount of sleep. I'm talking up to 20 hours a day. Making sure they get that nap time is what prevents them from getting into that overtired state in the first place. You can really boil this whole idea down to a super simple, repeatable cycle. They come out of their crate or pen, they go outside for a potty break, they have some structured fun and learning, and then they go back to their safe space to rest. This rhythm teaches your puppy that there's a time for energy and a time for calm, which makes their world feel predictable and safe. Okay, so beyond just managing their day, we can actually teach our dogs the skill of being calm. I know that might sound a little strange, but yes, settling is a behavior you can train and reward, just like sit or stay. This exercise is an absolute game changer. And the secret ingredient? It's your calmness. You just sit there quietly, no commands, no hype, no excitement. The second your dog offers any kind of calm behavior on their own, maybe they lie down or even just sigh, you calmly drop a treat. You're not asking for it, you're capturing it. This teaches them in their own language that choosing to chill out is actually a really rewarding thing to do. Okay, so we've got our routines and our training down, but what do you do when, despite your best efforts, your dog is already rocketing around the living room? That's when you need your toolkit for a little bit of instant zen. The main idea here, as the Michigan Humane Society points out, is to channel that energy, not just try to suppress it. We need to give them a job to do. And you know what? A lot of the time, a mental job is way more effective at calming a dog down than a physical one. And these are some fantastic tools for that. Things like a snuffle mat or a puzzle toy make your dog use their brain and, more importantly, their nose to solve a problem. And get this, for most dogs, 10 minutes of intense sniffing is actually more tiring than a 30-minute run. Even something as simple as letting your dog lead the way and sniff everything on a walk is a powerful way for them to decompress. For really specific situations like thunderstorms or fireworks, calming supplements can be a helpful addition to your toolkit. You'll see ingredients like chamomile, which is a natural relaxing herb, or L-theanine, which can promote relaxation without making them drowsy. Of course, it is always a good idea to chat with your vet before adding any new supplement to their diet. And hey, don't underestimate the power of sound. Research from the National Institutes of Health actually confirms what a lot of us have suspected for a while. Classical music can genuinely lower a dog's stress levels. It's such a simple, passive way to create a more serene vibe at home. Now, all of these strategies we've talked about are incredibly effective for most dogs. But it's also really important to recognize when an issue might go beyond typical puppy energy and you might need some professional backup. If the strategies we've talked about just aren't making a dent, or if that hyperactivity is mixed with real fear, aggression, or severe separation anxiety, it's time to call a professional. A certified trainer or a veterinary behaviorist can help figure out what's really going on and create a plan just for your dog. There is absolutely no shame in asking for help. In fact, it's the best thing you can do. At the end of the day, managing a high-energy dog isn't about stopping their energy. It's about understanding it and redirecting it. It's about creating a world that makes sense to them and teaching them the incredibly valuable skill of how to be calm. This whole journey starts with just one small step. So I'll leave you with this question. What one calm moment are you going to create for your dog today?